Howdy, you guys. Welcome to Central Texas Grilling. Today, we're going to smoke some St. Louis spare ribs on the Weber. Also some beer can chicken that I'm going to do, but this video is just going to be about the ribs. So here we have 2 racks of ribs, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove them from the package, of course. Then I'm going to remove the membrane here off the back. I'm going to rub them down and throw them on the smoker. So we'll pick back up in just a bit. We'll be back. Alright, you guys, we're back. You notice here I got the membranes removed from each rib. I did trim up a little bit on the top side, but not much. Now what we're going to do is start rubbing them down. The rub I'm using today is my go-to rub. Not only does it make the ribs taste great, but it makes the ribs look good as well. I'm also going to rub them down with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil before I add the rub. You know, you can rub them down with whatever you like, mustard, whatever, but I like to use a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I find that helps the rub stick well, and it's just something that works really well for me. So that's what I'm using today. So just spread a little bit of, not a lot, just a little bit of oil on them. A little bit of olive oil. And then you want to make sure you do both sides. Let's flip them over. And we're going to do the same thing to this side. Just add a little bit of olive oil. Rub them down. And we'll start applying the rub. I always like to start on the back side when I apply my rub. And I like to use a shaker here instead of just applying it by hand. If you notice, it helps spread the rub evenly, and that's what I like. I don't like it to clump up in certain areas. You know, sometimes you just throw the rub on there by hand, and one part of the rib has more rub than another part, so I just like to use a shaker. I think it gives it, it helps apply that rub evenly. So we got the back side done, flip them over, same thing on the meat side. Now this rub I'm using consists of ground black pepper, kosher salt, onion powder, garlic powder, chili powder, and paprika. So it's 2 tablespoons of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of the kosher salt, and a half tablespoon of the onion powder, garlic powder, chili powder, and paprika. So these ribs, just about ready to go. I'm going to set them aside and go get the pit ready to go. So we'll let them sit here for a second, get the pit going. We'll be back. Alright, we got the Weber set up. I got the ribs on. I'm using the Smokinator today. I did add a couple of cherry wood chunks and a couple of apple wood chunks. Added a little bit of water to the pan to help with the moisture. So we'll leave these on for about 2.5 hours, and we'll take a look at them then. We'll be back. Alright, I just pulled the ribs off. They've been on for about 2.5 hours, and As you can see, they've taken on a pretty nice color here. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap these in foil, put them back on the pit. So we'll be back. Okay, we got the ribs here, both of them. Got some foil laid out. They've been on for about 2.5 hours. So now we're gonna wrap them. I like to make sure that the meat side is down before wrapping. I do have 2 pieces of foil here. I want to make sure you double up so that way the bones don't poke through as easily. You want to fold them up here, kind of make a little bow. Again, make sure that the meat side is down. And what I'm going to add is a little bit of pineapple juice. Now I do use apple juice, and I have used a number of other things, but I find that the pineapple juice actually works really, really well. So I just want to add a little bit here. You want to again make sure that meat is, or the ribs are meat side down, so that way the meat will baste in the pineapple juice. So just pour a little pineapple juice in here. We're going to wrap them back up. Make sure you seal them up really well. Those aside and start on the second rack. These 2 as well are double foiled. Again, just kind of fold up the edges so your pineapple juice doesn't spill out. And you're only adding about 6 to 8 ounces of the pineapple juice, so it's not a ton. I find this pineapple juice really, really helps tenderizes the meat. Got these, we'll wrap these up. You get a good seal. This rack is actually a little long, so you'll notice there on the top is an opening where the foil doesn't meet. You want to make sure that you seal that up. So I'm just going to grab an extra piece of foil. And just kind of cover that up. Now you notice I'm only using 1 sheet. It's a small area, and you know, I'm not worried about the pineapple juice spilling out since I'll be meat side down. So now that we got them both wrapped, we're going to take them back out on the pit, and I'm going to let them go for another 2 hours. And we'll take a look at them then. We'll be back. Alright, so these ribs have been on for 2 hours. I did unwrap them, put them back on the pit, and baste them with some barbecue sauce. I thought I hit record on my camera, but I didn't, so I didn't catch that part. But this is what they look like after being unwrapped with barbecue sauce for about 30 extra minutes on the pit. Alright, you guys, here just a few pictures before and after the ribs. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing if you'd like, I'd appreciate it. And may the grilling gods be with you. Again, thank you for watching.